What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. And with this video, we are jumping into the Infinite Frontier with Suicide Squad issue number 10. Now, if you have not been keeping up with this line, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything that has been happening with the Suicide Squad so far. And what we saw in the last issue was the Suicide Squad barely managing to steal the alien technology from Oa. And in doing so, they find themselves cut off from their transport and currently on the run from the Green Lanterns and the United Planets, with no backup coming from Earth. Meanwhile, down on Earth, Amanda Waller is facing her own challenges running from the US government, and Rick Flag being hot on her trail. So with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into issue number 10, we are picking up with a little bit of a backstory of Culebra. Growing up as a young girl, she ended up getting bit by a venomous snake, and because of this bite, she was suffering. It appeared that she might even die, her mother negotiating with a very shady individual, this man offering her a cure that could save her daughter's life. The only trick to it is that they would be allowed to experiment on her in any way, shape, or form. Her mother agreeing to this just to save her life. She survived, and she became the villain known as Culebra, because once Spiral was done treating her, she had these powers, and so they offered her a deal. In exchange for keeping her family safe, she would go out and she would break the law. She was trained, she was molded, she tried to hold on to the person she might have been, but after years of this continuous abuse, her outcome was inevitable. And that is what landed her in jail, completely discarded. That is when Amanda Waller came to find her. Joining the Suicide Squad, she ends up dying. And now Amanda Waller has brought her back to life. And without her medication, it is a good chance she is going to die again. The medication being held by Major Force. Now that is where we pick up with our Suicide Squad. They are currently floating out in space, not having a ship, not having any kind of way home. They have no idea what they are going to do. But the one thing they have to focus on right now is staying out of custody of the United Planets and the Green Lanterns. With the United Forces planets descending down upon them, we see a fight break out, our Suicide Squad doing every effort to try to stay above in this fight. And these guys are jamming their communication, so they can't even get a hold of Amanda Waller to let her know what is going on and try to send some kind of contingency. With the Suicide Squad being overrun, with the forces being too great, they are doing everything they can just to keep their heads above water. That is until we have the arrival of our Green Lantern Joe. With a giant blast of light, our Suicide Squad find themselves in the belly of a giant, monstrous light construct. And so with them being captured by Joe, they are put into one of the science cells. A cell that is in a classified location. And now our Suicide Squad, they are all locked up, not really knowing how they're going to get out of here, how this is going to have a good outcome for them. We see Noctera and Match, they really seem to be clicking. They really seem to be getting along in such a great way. The relationship has truly been building this entire time. Now, we're not sure if this is Noctera really manipulating Match, or if she legitimately has some kind of feelings for him. Regardless, we see them in prison together, the two of them embracing one another, the two of them kissing, and the two of them, they vow that when they get out of here, that they will free themselves from Amanda Waller's grasp, be free of the Suicide Squad, and go and live their own lives. Now, with Siren and Major Force stuck in a cell together, they have a quick conversation. The conversation being on the terms of Culebra, because Major Force lets them know that they are exactly where Amanda Waller wanted them to be. And he holds a little box in his hand, a box containing the pills that would keep Culebra alive. And in the cell with Talon and Culebra, we see Culebra collapse. With her falling down to the ground, this is where she dies. And with her dying, her ghost rises out of her body. Going into the cell with Major Force, Major Force lets her know that she knows, or she will know exactly what she is looking for once she gets there. As she passes through the cell with Ambush Bug and Yorick inside, Yorick is letting us know that he is working with Major Force, working on something that he asked him to do, and that is trying to find a way home. And we see that Yorick, he did something, but he is able to manipulate some kind of aspect of space and able to recreate, bring together their ship. The ship that had been completely obliterated, that was sitting in pieces all in space, we see it come back together. With the ship now being complete, we see it make a hightail directly for their location. And so as the Suicide Squad, they sit here and they wait patiently. Noctera and Match both plotting what they are going to do, how they're going to take Amanda Waller down. Culebra finds herself going through all of these cells, only to end up in one location with a very, very unique individual. That individual being Black Hand. And this was the mission. The only one knowing about it was Major Force, knowing that this is the location that they would bring them, hoping this would be the outcome. That way they can rescue Black Hand for whatever the heck Amanda Waller has in store for him. And this is when the ship comes inbound, with the ship coming in and blasting a hole right in the side of the wall of this prison. The ship makes its landing, and the Suicide Squad now has their exit. And they have exactly what they have came for. They have the technology from Oa, and now they have Black Hand. And so with our Suicide Squad now back on their way to Earth, Talon letting Culebra know that will be the last time that she ever has to die. Match and Noctera planning to find some kind of way to free themselves from Amanda Waller's grasp. We pick up with Amanda Waller, and she lets us know that finally all of the pieces are in play. And at this point, it appears that there is nothing that can stop Amanda Waller. Nothing except for maybe Rick Flag and the Suicide Squad that he has been forming on the side in the shadows to take down Amanda Waller. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Personally, I gotta say I am enjoying the Suicide Squad a crap ton. This was definitely more of a filler issue to bring Black Hand into the fold. And, obviously we have no idea what Amanda Waller is planning. We never have any clue what Amanda Waller is up to. Her ideas always seem absolutely outlandish until it finally comes to fruition. Her plan comes together and it kind of makes sense. Amanda Waller, I'm not going to deny it, she will and always is the villain in this specific story. Regardless of what she is trying to do, regardless of her trying to create a Justice League that can take over on Earth 3, that can free that world from the crime syndicate, she is still the bad guy for how she is doing this, for how her methods are going about on trying to accomplish this mission. And that's because she has no limitations. Like, she has gotten to the point where she is now creating freaking zombies. Zombies to be able to fight as her Suicide Squad, and their reward is being able to be left in peace, being able to be left to die. And we do see a lot of that in the Task Force Z line, the one that we have Red Hood leading this zombie Suicide Squad. Now, of course, everything is still up in the air. It doesn't seem like Future State is going to be a thing. So we can only assume that Rick Flag might get the upper hand here and prevent Amanda Waller from making her overall scheme come to fruition. We have seen that the magistrate in Gotham City has collapsed, ending any future state that could possibly happen, at least for Gotham City. Now, the verdict is still out on everything else, with Superman on Warworld, with Wonder Woman completely unsure of who she is and what she is going to be doing next, with our Wonder Girl, aka Wonder Woman, Yara Flor, down in South America making her rise. Is Amanda Waller going to be able to finish her goal of saving Earth 3 and creating a Justice League worthy of taking on that planet? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.